A second question. Interested to hear about how we navigate the challenges with bias in the hiring process with AI. We know that large organizations are deploying these technologies more and more. How can we ensure that this is done in an ethical way?
Perfect for you, Michelle.
I can take that one. Yeah, sure. So I think that, the key element here when you're using AI in hiring is to ensure that the algorithms are fair, right? And a big part of what we do, because fairness is really our North Star, is to ensure that our algorithms are de-biased, right? So we check the algorithms when we build them to ensure that they are fair for gender and ethnicity, etc. And what that means is that we are more confident that we will be able to support the diversity efforts of organisations. So it's really crucial that any algorithm, actually, no matter what it is, whether it's for insurance, for example, that those algorithms are de-biased to ensure that you're not disproportionately impacting certain groups in a way that was simply unintended in the first place. I don't think anyone intends to build an algorithm that is biased, but I think that can sometimes be an unintended consequence if you're not actually monitoring that algorithm upfront in terms of the bias, and then monitoring post-deployment as well from a real-world perspective around how has the algorithm actually performed from a fairness perspective. So I think those steps are absolutely crucial.
And that's where I think when I remember when I was in corporate, one of the key thing was to train up the HR teams. Because most often that's not in that area that the data scientists are located. Although Frontera was the case, like the Joe who's on the call here set up that function with analytics in there, which was very very smart to have those data scientists in HR, and that actually paid a lot to have them there, because they were trying to see those kind of things. So very ethical, and understand the implications specifically on recruitment that a traditional data scientist might not see, or if they're part of another part of the business, they might actually not see it. And again, not by anyone's fault, but just because it's not the way they would think, and they won't see some of the subtleties there. So Amazon was a great example where they deployed that, and they didn't look at this, but they were keeping hiring, white males from Harvard and other Ivy League schools, because that was the profile of people that were successful. But that doesn't mean that others were not successful. It means that the data set was the wrong one. Correct.
Yeah, you absolutely have to look at your data set. And then, if they had de-biased their algorithm, they would have found, oh, hang on a second, it's only recommending males, right? So they didn't kind of check, although I don't know if they confirmed the story necessarily, but it has done the rounds.
But Amazon would never confirm. They never talk to the press anyway.